Hello and welcome to Mathematical Literacy. Some of you may be taking this course for the first time, and if that's the case, then this is how you want to get to our Canvas course. So the first thing you want to go is to your My LCCC. I have it kind of hyperlinked and saved. It's my.lccc.edu/group/mycampus/home. And once you get to this, I would just recommend saving it as a bookmark. And then you're going to put in your username and your password. And that's going to bring you to your My LCCC. Mine might look a little bit different than yours. I can't really remember. But what we want to do is we want to go to Launchpad and we want to select Connect to Online Courses in Canvas. You'll see that mine will look a little bit different than yours, as you guys obviously have your classes and I have mine. So I'm going to select on your class, which is the Mathematical Literacy. And right now I'll go into Student View. So we'll have the same screens. This is a welcome page for you. It kind of pulls out all of the necessary information from our syllabus, which I will go over our syllabus. One thing you should note is that here it says final exam is to be determined. That's because your course is a little bit different than other courses here at LCCC. Your course is pretty self-paced. I am going to be putting up a pacing guide that if you follow my pacing guide and it's your first time taking the class, if you're pretty strict and follow my pacing guide, then you should be able to finish this course in one semester. Here's our syllabus. You can see that you are in the right place. It's Math 90, Mathematical Literacy, and we are section N5, and this is fall 2021. This is my information, Professor Brewer. I do use male pronouns, so he, him, his. My office hours are via Zoom, and if you select this button, it'll bring you to my Zoom course or my Zoom room. It'll look like it's not working if I'm not in it, so don't. And I definitely use this for other classes, so please try to refrain from entering into that unless it's during your time, which is 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. You can always email me to set up a time for additional Zoom appointments. I do have a lot going on this semester, so that's part of the reason why I'm teaching a fully online course. But I do make a lot of time for my students. So if you need time outside of the two times I give you, which is Tuesday, Thursday, 4:30 to 6 p.m., please email me and I can set up a standing kind of extra time that I will probably allow for other students as well. My text number is listed here as well. That number is for texting pretty much only. I can have phone calls on it, but it's pretty hard to hear. So the texting is preferred, and email, honestly. You have 6 credits. There's no real class meeting time, so that's why it's not filled out, and the location is remote. So again, this kind of helps you figure out how to get into Canvas. You can select, these are all linked, so you can just select them if you need help getting to certain areas. And there's some Canvas troubleshooting situations. I by no means, I obviously know how to work Canvas, but I don't know the inner workings of Canvas. So if something's not really working right or you have an issue with Canvas, you want to contact them. Here's your course description. Basically, we're going to start at the very beginning. You're going to talk about whole numbers, integers, fractions, decimals, rates, ratios, percentages, simplifying and evaluating a variety of algebraic expressions, polynomials, exponents. We do a lot of different things in this class, and that's part of why it's kind of self-paced. But I am going to be doing objective videos in addition to what you have on Hawks. So if there's ever a situation where you're like, hey, I'm working through this Hawks stuff and I'm just really stuck on this one situation, no matter what I do, no matter where I look up for it, YouTube, whatever, I just can't get it. You can obviously do a one-on-one Zoom with me, and depending upon what we work on, I might record it and post it for other students, or you might want to take a look at my objective videos that I'm already going to have up on Canvas, and I'll be working on those over the next week or two. Here's your grading and assessments. Obviously, an A is showing that you really understand the material, you really know what's going on. An A, B, or C is going to get you to go on to your next course. You don't want to see these two necessarily, although between the two, you definitely want to see this one. Your course grading, attendance is going to be based on the time you spend in Hawks. And I can look and see how much time you're putting into Hawks. You want to aim for about 6 hours per week in the Hawks learning. I can also see the time you're spending in Canvas as well. Works for certifies, you'll see that's kind of within Hawks. All of your stuff is within Hawks. And then you want to have 15 certifies out of what you're working with. And then there are 4 unit exams. You need to also send in your work for the unit exams, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you also have your final exam, and of course the work is required. So even if you use a calculator for something, you really also want to know how to write it out on the paper, because when you turn in your work, you're not going to be able to just say completed on calculator. You want to actually be able to write down that work. So even if it's as simple as 2 + 2, you want to write that down and just get in the habit of writing down all of your work, because I know in my other classes, I expect my students to show me work and not just have me assume that they did it on the calculator. All right, this is some other information you guys can go through and read at your own leisure. Again, I will be putting in due dates that are set for pacing. And if you follow those due dates, then you'll be able to complete the course, or should be able to complete the course in a fairly quick situation compared to past semesters. Like I said, the one thing I really like students to pay attention to is that this course can continue. So even though I try my best to get students to be finished in this semester, if you don't finish in one semester, we can give you a Z grade. So I always try to encourage my students to finish what they need to finish. But if you have to go on to another semester, then you have to go on. I would highly recommend watching this video through Hawks. What you're going to do is a single sign-on, so you'll select this when you're ready. In fact, I can go ahead and show you what this will look like. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Huh. That could be because I don't have a student account. I'll show you in a minute under my professor one what that looks like. That's probably the situation. Definitely email me if you guys get that notice as well. So you want to go through your first day. Math 90, mathematical literacy. This course is designed to take you through all the basic mathematics you need in one semester, from whole number arithmetic through graphing linear equations, to get you on your way to mathematics and science classes you need for your degree. Course content. The course content, like I said before, will be whole numbers, fractions and mixed numbers, decimal numbers, ratios, proportions and percents, some geometry, introduction to algebra, solving linear equations and inequalities, graphing linear equations and inequalities, and systems of linear equations and exponents and polynomials. Why is this course different? It's self-accelerated. You work through the course material individually with support nearby. That support would be me and the tutoring center. allows you to, and of course, all of Hawk's amazing resources. This allows you to spend more time on specific topics where you might need more help. A structured environment to help keep you focused and on track. The flipped classroom. The professor is there to help you when you need. Assistance is delivered in the format for what works best for you. PowerPoints, videos, textbooks are available resources. Your instructor is always a resource that is there to guide you through the course. Complete the learn at home and complete the practice in class. Complete the certify at home or in class. Stay on pace with due dates. The in-class portion, obviously, you guys are taking the online version, so there's no in-class for you. Resources available. Obviously, the tutoring center is available at no cost, and they are remote and in person. Educational support services, study habits, time management, etc. Smart thinking, again, is available at no cost. And if you guys need help getting to these resources, I can definitely help you with that. Tech support, counseling, and a tech loaner program. So if you need a laptop or like a hotspot, just access or talk to our librarians at LCCC and they'll help you with that. Mastery-based course. That means that in order to certify for a unit, you have to have a 70% on the sample test, a 70% on the unit test to move to the next unit. And there are chats available to help with more of like the nuances of the Hawks platform and Q&A sessions and review sessions prior to the exam. So I will have reviews for you. If they're not already in Hawks, I will have my own review that goes unit to unit, and you'll be able to see that. I'll do a video like this, but I'll just focus on one unit. Scientific or graphing calculator is required. If you have this guy right here and you already have that in one of your junk drawers at home and it's working, don't go out and buy this guy. You don't need him. You can do the course without a graphing calculator. However, if you don't have either of these, then a graphing calculator is what you would want to get, because then it will help you going forward in your other math classes. Math 90 is 6 credits. So what does that mean to you? That means that it's kind of like taking 2 classes. So you want to be able to invest that 6 hours, because in most classes, you're devoting between 2 to 3 hours outside of class per class. So you have to multiply that by 2. So you're looking at between 4 to 6 hours, depending upon how fast you work. If you do not complete the certifies, then you have to do them for homework, which again, you guys are all online, right? If you're taking 3 credits, that reduces not only the hours, so then you are looking at 2 to 3 hours outside of work, but you're also only working for half the semester. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, Hawks Learning. It's a mastery-based approach. Each lesson is broken up into learn, practice, and certify. Again, the certify is how you will be able to go from objective to objective and unit to unit. If you think you're ready and confident, then you can go straight to certify. If you end up starting certify and you realize that you need some practice, you can go back to practice, or you can go back to learn if you need to learn about the objective. Okay, where do I start? Like I said, you need to log into your LCCC portal, connect to your online classes on the left, select Math 90 from your dashboard, select modules and the Hawks single sign-on. Select view course to see your complete to-do list by assignment. Log into Hawks now and complete the orientation lesson. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and show you day 2 and the rest of this PowerPoint, because I don't want to have to do a separate video, but you can feel free to pause here. And then if you would like, you can pick back up on day 2 after you log into Hawks and complete the orientation lesson. Okay, so day 2, grading. There are 4 test grades, and that gives you 40%. 20% comes from the computer score and 20% comes from the hand graded work. And I will upload that. Well, you'll upload your work and then I will also upload for you my feedback. And my feedback is very specific and individualized. So I will definitely show you like where your mistakes are and if it's a common mistake that you're making or if you only made it one time, I'll definitely let you know that. The final exam is 20%, 10% again from the computer, 10% from the upload that you're going to do. 25% of your grade comes from the certifies. And again, remember that's from the learn, practice, and certify. So you have to certify in everything that you're going to be working in. 10% comes from the work. 5% attendance, which works out to be about 4 points per week. Online, which is what we are, that's logging in weekly for 6 hours total and trying your best to stay on target with due dates. Okay, so like you could log in every day or every week for 6 hours and then fall behind on the due dates. And instead of getting 4 out of 4, you might end up with 3 out of 4. So it just depends on how far away you are from those due dates. Honestly, like I said, if you stay on target with my due dates, you're going to be really successful in this class. All grades are listed in the Hawks Learning under the grades tab. So that's something that's a little bit different to you guys. You're not going to see your grades in Canvas. You're only going to see your grades in the Hawks Learning. Again, you want to upload in Canvas your work, but the grade will go into Hawks. Okay. Here you can see where the grades are, like where you would select to find your grades. Showing all work. As with all math classes, you must show how you arrived at your answer. At the end of each lesson, it is important that you upload your work to Canvas. It is not an assignment, but a reminder to go to Canvas to upload your work for that lesson. For each certify, on a blank or lined sheet of paper, write the title of the certify and number each question, showing the problem and each step of how you solve the problem. You are allowed a calculator to help, but are still required to show the work. Think of the calculator as checking your work. Upload the work and at the end of each assignment. So what I'll probably do to help you guys out is I'll do an assignment and I'll show, write this out for you and I'll put it up for you on Canvas as an example of how to show your certified work. How do I upload work? You want to download the Canvas app to your phone or tablet and log into the app. Take a photo of your work with your phone or tablet and then go to the app under the assignment tab. So for assignment 1, again, this is for the certify. For assignment 1, you want to select assignment 1 work and then you want to turn that in. Select browse to find your picture and then upload the file. Certifies are graded components similar to homework or quiz that counts towards your overall grade. Instructors and tutors cannot help you with your certifies, but can help you with a similar problem in practice. You must have around an 85% on each certify to be successful. Depending upon the number of questions, the 85% may vary slightly. So what that's telling you is when you go into your certify, it starts with like problem number 1. And if you get problem number 1 right, that's going to change the number of overall questions you might get. So as long as you're getting the questions right, you have a chance of only having to answer, say, like 8 or 9 questions, because then you're looking at between 80 and 90%. And then it might stop after 9 questions. I'm not really sure. It may go to 10 questions. But if you start missing, then you'll have to do more problems to get to that 85%. So what I would suggest is as soon as you start missing a couple of problems, I would go right out of the certify and go back to practice, because you can do as many practice as you want. You can also do as many problems as you want in the certify. It's just going to take you way longer to get to the 85%. So again, practice would be better if you start making mistakes in the certify. You do not need to pass one certified to move on to the next lesson. Certifies should be completed by the due date. So what this is telling you is that if you get stuck on a certify and you're like really, really frustrated, you can move on to that next lesson, but just make sure that you're paying attention to your due dates, because then you want to have that certified done by the due date. You will have one chance to redo a problem in certify before it counts as a strike. If you do not understand the problem, you can accept the strike without redoing the problem and continue to the next question. The computer deducts a 50% penalty if answers are not in simplified form. You can pause 2 times while taking a certify. You will have unlimited attempts to certify. Okay. Test taken from day 1 PowerPoint. This is your day 1. Well, I guess day 1 was the other one, but okay. So a sample test and test are password protected. You will need to ask me for the password. I will check to see if you have handed in your work and met the required number of certifies. 70% on a sample test and 14 out of 17 certifies must be successfully completed to take sample test 1 and test 1 with work submitted, not including the orientation section. Okay, so you're looking at between 14 out of 17 and 14 out of 17 for test 2, and then 15 out of 21 for test 3 and 6 out of 8 for test 4. Must complete in one sitting. Oh, so these are how to get to the test. And then once you're at the test, you have to complete the test in one sitting. A successful certify counts as 100%, of unsuccessful certify counts as 0%. 90 minutes for test 1, 2, and 3, 105 minutes for test 4, and 150 minutes for the final. You must hand in your work for the sample test and test. And you guys can definitely see from Canvas what you need to turn in by hand. It's written out very nicely. When you go into assignments, it'll say assignment 1 work. That's where you put it. And then like eventually it'll say test 1 work. And that's where you put that. So it's done very nicely. Follow the pacing guide. It is important to follow the due dates. So I will type up the due dates for you, but you can also see in Hawks that you will have due dates already in there. So basically the bottom line is that if you follow Hawks, then you should be okay. If you don't complete the course, you will be allowed to continue your progress. However, you will need to sign up and pay for the class again. You will sign up for the 3 credit options so that you are not charged again for the Hawks Learning courseware. So that means that you have to sign up and pay for class, but you won't be paying for the Hawks Learning. If you stop participating and or working in class for 2 weeks without communicating with me, you will receive an F for the course. So basically, if you want a Z and you don't want to fail, you have to let me know what's going on. And honestly, guys, I really work hard with my students. So if you work with me, I promise you, you'll be successful. Even if you do have to take a Z, I'm going to make sure that you are getting the most out of this class and you're getting the furthest that you can possibly get. And that's really the bottom line, is to not stop and to keep working hard. A grade of a Z will be issued at the end of the course if you do not complete all the assignments, but continue to work throughout the whole course. So let's say that you're doing your 6 hours or whatever have you, you're putting in a lot of time into Hawks, but you're just not getting as far as you would like to get. That's fine. You just need to be continually working as much as you can, week to week to week, and then we'll talk about what's best for your next steps. 3 credit students are not following the assigned due dates, but are required to work on the assignments for a minimum of 6 hours per week. So the reason why it's 6 hours and not 2 to 3 is because you really want to try and get this class done. If you drop the number of hours per week, then you have a chance that you're not going to finish your work. So again, 3 credit students, you don't need to worry about the due dates because you might be really far ahead of them, but you are required to work a minimum of 6 hours. I do apologize. Earlier, I said you could work the 2 to 3, but for this class, you have to work 6 hours. You can work ahead of the due dates. Everything is available. Again, to recap on tests, you need a 70% on the test to continue working on the course. If you do not get a 70% on the computer part of the test, self-correct errors on the test and give it to me, and then retake the sample test at 70%. And then now what you guys can do is watch the Hawks training video if you haven't already. All right, and now I will see everybody in class. Well, I guess in Zoom if you need me. And if I do any other videos, you will see me there too. All right, bye guys, good luck.